بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we'll continue solving SAT math bank questions in the domain of algebra and the linear function skill. Let's continue. Bismillah. The table above gives the typical amount of energy per gram expressed in both. Okay, we have here a table which best represents the relationship between x and k. If x food calories is equivalent to k kilojoules, x food calories is equivalent to k kilojoules, which best presents relationship between x and k. Okay, it wants the relationship between x and k. Okay, to get something like this, you have to do is take this minus this and this minus this over each other with 37.7 minus 16.7 over 9 minus 4, which is 5 or 5 be 4.2. So this is the kilojoules equals 4.2 x calories. This is a linear equation. We just found the rate, the slope, and we put it in the equation. The table gives the number of hours each of labor and plumbers total charge in dollars for two different jobs. Okay, there is a linear relationship between h and f of h, which equation represents this relation. Okay, it also wants the relationship. We'll do the same thing. Always to find the slope. Slope is m. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it will be 285 minus 155 minus 2. This will give us 65. So the 65 is the relationship between them. But here we have a y-intercept. Here we have a y-intercept. And to find the y-intercept, you have to substitute any, you can substitute one of these points. You can substitute this or this. Let's substitute and find the y-intercept. B 155 minus 65, which is 90. So C is equal to 90. Is equal to 90. So 65H plus 90. The answer is C. For the linear function g, the graph of y equal g of x in the xy plane has a slope of 2 and passes through the point 114, which equation defines g? Give us the slope, which is 2. Give us a point, so we can use this point always to find the y-intercept. Let's use it. Substitute x and y and find the y-intercept, which is 12. The final equation is y equal to x plus 12. So the answer. The cost of renting a large canopy tent for up to 10 days is 430 for the first day and 215 for each additional day. Okay, it wants the equation. Okay, so this is the initial and this is the rate always. So this is the y-intercept, and this is the slope. This is the y-intercept. 115x plus 430. The answer is D. Answer is A. How's that? Oh, sorry. Yes. Forgot to do something. Here, for the first day, 115, 215 times x minus 1 plus 430. Why is that? Because for the first day, it is 430. So if we substituted x with 1 here, it will give us 430, the initial for the first day. But if we didn't do that, it will be added up. So we need to do that because we have in the first day a specific value which is given 430. So the answer is, now if we solve this, it will give us 215x plus 215. So the answer is A. Bank account. Bank account is opened with an initial deposit over the next several months. Regular deposits were made into this account, and there was no withdrawals made during this time. The graph of the function f shown where y equals x estimates the account balance in dollars in this bank account x months since the initial deposit. The nearest one number was the it was the initial. To find also the initial, look at the y-intercept here, which is 20. So the answer is 20. Okay, the function f is defined, and f of a is equal to 10. What is the value of a? All you have to do is substitute and solve. Let's solve. So it gives us the 10 a plus 15 over 5. Solve for a. 50 equals a plus 15. So a equals 35. Answer is C. Well, the value of x with when x is equal to 9, only substitute. So 900 plus 2, which is 102. Answer is D. Okay, for x and g of x, what's the value? We'll also substitute. F of 2, let's get f of 2. F2 is equal to 9, and g of 2 is equal to 14. And substitute 4 times 9 minus 14. 36 minus 14, which is 26 minus 4, which is 22. So let's see. January 1, 2015. A city's minimum hourly wage was $9.25. It will increase by 0.5 on the first day of the year for the next 5 years. Which economic function best models the minimum hourly wage in dollars exceed after January? Okay, so here we have 9.25, the initial, and this is the rate, and that's it. So the answer is, it will increase, so plus. So the answer is, should be C. Student council group is selling school posters for fundraiser. Use the function to determine the profit in dollars for selling X school posters. In order to earn profit of $900, how many school posters must they sell? All you have to do is substitute and solve for X. 900 equals 5X minus 220. Shift this to this side to be 1000. 120 equals 5X and divide in 5 824. So it wants here the temperature, and the temperature is 600. It wants the pressure. All you have to do is look at the graph. Look here, and the temperature is 600. The pressure would be 12. So the answer is B, 12. The length Y of a white whale was 162 centimeters when it was born, and increased an average of 4.8 centimeters per month for the first 12 months. So it was 162 meters when it was born. Okay. After which equation represents, okay, so this is the initial, and this is the rate, and that's it. So this is beside the x, always the rate is beside the x, and the initial is alone. So the answer is D. What's the x-intercept of the graph of y equal f of x? The x-intercept is the value of x when y is equal to 0. First, we have to get the equation for this function. Let's get the equation. This minus this over this minus this to get the y-intercept. It will be 18 minus 21 over minus 10 minus minus 11 plus 11 b over 1 b minus 3. So the slope is minus 3 plus c. Then you have to find c by taking one of the points and substitute. Let's do it. b minus 3 times minus 11, which is 33, plus c. Shift this to the other side. b9 plus 3, which is 12. So c is equal to minus 12. Now it wants the value of x when y is equal to 0. Just find x. X is equal to minus 4. So the answer is B. For the linear function g, the table shows for values of x and their corresponding values of g of x. Okay. So once the y-intercept, it's first, as we said, we have to get the slope and then substitute one of the points to get the y-intercept. Let's get the slope, this minus this, or this minus this. So 51 minus 4 minus 54 over 2 minus 1. It will give you minus 3. Y equal minus 3x plus b. Now we have to substitute one of the points. Let's substitute the first point. Minus 3 plus b. So b is equal to 57. That's it. So the answer is D. Function if is defined was the y-intercept of the graph. Okay, here the y-intercept is given already, which is -2. This is a very easy question, but it tests your understanding. So the answer is B. Okay. The given function G models the number of gallons of gasoline that remains from a full gas tank in a car after driving in miles. According to the model, about how many gallons of gasoline are used to drive each mile. It's asking about the rate, how many gallons of gasoline are used to drive each mile. So this is the slope, which is minus 0.05. So is the slope. Is the answer. Kailani use fabric measuring 5 yards in length to make each suit for a man. The relationship between the number of suits the Kailani made, X, and the total length of fabric she purchased, Y, in yards, is represented by the equation. What is the best interpretation of 6 in this context? So here, if we rearrange the formula, we will get 6 as the y-intercept. So it is the initial this is the number of suits X and the total length of fabric in yards. Okay, this is the initial suits. And the total length of fabric she purchased Y, and the yards is represented. Okay. So this is the an extra number of yards she has. Purchased a total of 6 yards of fabric, used a total of 6 yards to make the switch, purchased 6 yards more fabric than she used to make the switch. So the answer is D. Equation of represents the speed y in feet per second of Sheila's bicycle x seconds after she applied the brakes at the end of a ride. If the equation is graphed in the xy plane, which of the following is the best interpretation of x coordinate of the line x-intercept in the context of the problem? It is the negative 5 here times the x, the seconds, x seconds, the time. It wants the x-intercept, not the x. Okay. The x-intercept is when y equals to 0. Speed y in feet per second. She was bicycle x seconds after she applied the brakes at the end of the ride. Let's read the answers. Speed of Sheila's bicycle in feet per second before Sheila's applied the brake. The number of feet per second. Okay, this is wrong, this is wrong. The number of seconds took from the time Sheila's began applying the brakes until the bicycle came to the complete speed. This is correct, because x here is the number, is the seconds. This is not the feet, it's not the speed, it's not the number of feet, it's the seconds. So the answer is C. To repair a refrigerator, a technician charges $60 per hour for plus 124 parts. Which function F represents the total amount in dollars the technician will charge for this job if it takes X hours? Okay, so this is the initial, this is the y-intercept, and this is the rate. So this will be beside the X, and this is the inch. So it should be 60X plus 120. So the answer is C. In the linear function h of 0 is equal to 41 and h of 1 is equal to 40. Which equation defines h? You can just substitute and find the answer. Let's see. For the first one, h of 0 is equal to 41. Yes. H of 1 is equal to 40. Yes, this applies. The rest of them doesn't apply, so the answer is A. Hannah deposited a fixed amount into her bank account each month. The function is the amount in dollars in Hannah's bank account after monthly deposit. What's the best interpretation of 25 in this context? It's the rate at which she deposits each month. Okay, so the answer is A. With each monthly deposit, the amount in Hannah's bank account increased by $25. Function f is defined by f x equals 5x plus 8. What value for x does f of x equals 58? All we have to do is substitution and solve for x. Let's do it. 50 equals 5x, x equals 10. So the answer is 10. Which equation defines the linear function? Oh, the graph y equal of x minus 7 is shown. Which equation defines the linear function? X minus 11. Let's test each one. F of x minus 11, so if the x and the y-intercept here is minus 4, so the y-intercept should be minus 4 for the equation. Let's test each answer and subtract minus 11 from each one. If we get the x-intercept at minus 4, then this should be the correct answer. For this one and this one, if you subtract minus 11, you will not get it. So the answer is either B or C. Okay, and now we have to decide the slope. Let's take 2 points and find the slope. Let's take minus 2 and 0. Minus 2 and 0. And 0 and minus 4. So it will be minus 4 over minus 2 over plus 2. Minus 4 minus 0. 0 minus minus 2. So it will be minus 2. So the answer is B. Because the slope is minus 2x, so the answer is B. Function f of x is defined as 19 more than 4 times the number x. What's the best interpretation of the x-intercept? Okay, so let's solve it. F of x is defined as 4x plus 19. Let's see each answer. When f of x is equal to 0, the number is negative 19 over 4. Let's try it. 0 for x plus 19. Yes, this would be correct. X will be negative 19 over 4. The answer should be A. When the number is 0, f x is 19. It is here asking about it's asking about the x-intercept. This is the x-intercept, the value of y when the value of x when y is equal to 0, which is negative 19 over 4. The answer is A. Function h is defined by h of x equals x plus 200. What's the value of h of 50? All you have to do is substitute this 50 plus 200, which is 250. So the answer is B. Until here we reached the end. Thank you for solving with me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.